Well, you said something almost happened,
Sunny
but okay.
Sunny
Uh,
also has a history of being arrested, which she did again earlier this week for
I'm
violating
not
her
surprised.
parole, driving with a suspended licenses, and and
Welcome to In Your House. Fuck the police.
at this point with Sunny, you just kind of have to laugh, right?
At this
I
point,
mean, it's tragic, really. She was the hottest woman around in like 96, 97. For like, she had a big fall, dude. In my opinion, I don't know about you guys, but I think she was on top of the world. She could have been something for like 10, 20 years, dude. She threw it all away, in my opinion.
she's gonna have her own spin-off. Sunny is the new
Eh,
All Black in Philadelphia.
And real quick, she's not even half as hot as she is. She's like 4 times the size now. So
I,
What she
I
was
think we,
arrested.
that's being generous too.
I think we can agree. I think we'd rather do her than Mitch.
I had a crush on her as a kid. Now I think he's nasty.
She got arrested for eluding a police officer, contempt violating domestic violence restraining order, operating
Yep,
motor vehicle during second license suspension.
yep, and
Only her second.
she's got a warrant out also in Pennsylvania.
I'm shocked it wasn't like more than second. But okay.
She went she went looking for friggin' Damien Darling again, and
Hey, when you're in bad crowds, it takes you into bad shit, dude. I'm just, it's my opinion.
I could make the argument Sunny was always the bad crowd.
Well, she's always, but yeah, she's part of the bad crowd too. But I'm just saying she also hangs around not so great people, and same thing for them, I guess. They hang with her, you know.
well, that's she got passed around more at parties than a Costco cheese tray.
I've heard the stories, dude.
Oh yeah,
I No, I've heard like backstage stuff, like yeah, like it was. She basically was passed around in ECW for sure.
uh, going on to the next piece of news. There was last Friday on SmackDown, there was a karaoke challenge between um what are the names? Well, anyway, there was karaoke challenge with Lacey Evans, Naomi, Tamina.
Yeah, and Lacey's now a heel again.
Wow, that was quick.
I mean, if Bruce Prichard was not behind this, I would be dead shocked, right?
He's
Can,
behind everything in creative right now.
If he's behind anything other than a sandwich, shocked.
but coming out of that segment, which let's face it, was not a good segment, Naomi kind of criticized it, saying, you know, I'm making chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Wait. I think we have. I think I have a clip from that. Hold on.
It's like a crime scene in my pants.
What the fuck?
What?
I just wanted to play that. It's like a crime scene in my pants.
I've heard that somewhere.
Yes, I believe a lot of people have. It's from the movie
What?
No Strings Attached.
It's from what?
It's from the movie No Strings Attached,
Oh, okay.
starring my 73rd cousin, twice removed on my mother's foot, Ashton Kutcher.
So what I'm getting to is, you know, Naomi, one of the better wrestlers, has had some issues with getting a push in WWE in recent years. Should she really be criticizing segments she's in that she actually gets featured in?
I mean, she wants a push. She's gonna get a push out the door.
Right.
I mean, luckily she'll be able to. She'll have plenty of cushion to land on.
This is true.
That's a nice tuchus.
Not really. It's just big.
Well, unfortunately, some of us aren't lucky to have it on our backside.
Actually, that's where like almost all my weight is. So
In your face.
exactly, you know what I mean.
Well, another piece of news this week. Shayna Baszler made her return to Monday Night Raw and kind of alluded that she will be taking on Asuka. Is this kind of because Charlotte may not be ready for SummerSlam, or do you think maybe finally Vince McMahon is ready to pull the trigger on her?
I mean, if he's gonna pull a trigger, it's probably of a gun.
I should know
he
better
thinks-
than to ask you.
Because he thinks Shayna's got a bum leg and Shayna's a horse. That's what Vince thinks. We gotta put her down. She can't ride the Kentucky Derby. I mean, given that Charlotte's got a busted boob again.
Yeah. Her second one.
Well, the first one was like a silicone contamination, and this one it's not that. But yeah,
It is not because they're not silicone this time. And usually they're not anymore.
I thought silicone was an old substance.
Usually they're saline so that if something like this were to happen, it can be right into the body. In fact, usually now most of them are like they're like the friggin' like pump sneakers where they attach like a little thing and they just like pump them up. I swear to God.
They have it ready to go. They sell that. That's $1 million industry. You know that, right?
The advancement in boobs today, I tell you, I got into the wrong business.
Mm-hmm.
I think all of us may have. You know,
No, no one's going to touch their boobs. No.
I mean, if you're gonna have a stupid injury, busted boob is kind of on the top of that list, right?
I mean, considering that it freaking happened to China on live TV.
When was that?
Oh, that was back in like '98. It was either she caught somebody on the outside, and she said I forget who told the story, but she said she could hear like a leaking sound, almost like a balloon deflating.
I don't remember that. If I saw it, I definitely don't remember that, or didn't touch it.
I just don't get why some women have to conflate all their like self-worth, or not self-worth, but their like confidence into their boobs. Like I just don't get it.
Do we really have to break out the Alexa Bliss paradox again?
I don't get it. I'm just saying I don't get it. I understand it's a thing. I don't understand it.
The fact that it can actually improve self-esteem.
No, okay. No, I'm not. Yes, for some. I see what you're saying. It can for certain, but I don't understand why some like that don't have that issue. I don't understand that. I can understand if you have that issue.
Let's what are your thoughts on Shayna Baszler getting a puss?
I don't believe it. I believe when I see it.
Push her up a cliff.
Yeah.
Who's not getting a puss? Tony Khan did a couple interviews this week, and I'm gonna paraphrase here, but what he basically said was the reason he suspended Jimmy Havoc and Sammy Guervara were because he didn't know what else to do. And by letting them sit home suspended without pay, he could figure out what to do while they're suspended. Does this seem
Good.
like proper managing by Tony Khan, Scooter?
Spoken like a true Mark, who doesn't know how to handle the freaking business. And considering that, you know, if Tony Khan hadn't done anything, would anything at all have happened to them? Would Kenny, Cody, Matt, and Nick, do their jobs as, the vice presidents of the company, and
that's a
actually
good question.
because something's telling me that they considering how little we've heard from them on this, it's almost as like they let like Tony like take the full brunt of it.
And do you think that's by design? Do you think Tony may have said, maybe I should take the full brunt of this?
I don't. I mean,
Probably.
quite frankly, people are gonna forget what Jimmy and Sammy have done sooner than anybody else. So,
Do you think, I definitely felt this way, an indefinitely suspended with no timetable of return was kind of maybe too much of a punishment? I'd say 30, maybe 60 days at best.
well, I mean, considering quite honestly, this is probably the best time to get suspended.
Because it's happening so much?
No, because you won't really be hurting yourself.
Oh, because of COVID, yeah.
Like, you could go away and come back, and it still be no
That's
problem.
the thing, though. The coming back thing is the part you gotta worry about.
And the crowds are never coming back. Instead, androids with cameras in their faces will now be sitting in the audience, and we will have to rent one of those androids.
I wouldn't shock me at all. Capitalism.
It makes the world around.
Something you mentioned earlier, Scooter, spoken like a true Mark. Is Tony Khan a Mark, or is he somebody that maybe knows something about the wrestling business?
There's a Mark with a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how they see. A lot of them see it.
A bunch of us, have the ability to book. The one thing we don't have is the money to do so.
Right.
Tony Khan just happens to have both.
Bingo.
But does Tony Khan book AEW TV?
But well, not, I don't mean by literally.
He works with everyone else about them, if anything, if his input's even in it.
I mean the ability to actually, put a promotion together.
Right.
That's what that's what book means these days. Anyway, so
Let me ask you another question. If the Young Bucks, Cody, and Kenny Omega were not all vice presidents of AEW,
right.
And
presidents, vice presidents, presidences.
Yeah, I did that purposely. If there was only like one, maybe two at best, and it was somebody maybe a little bit smarter, somebody that knows the business internally, would AEW be a better environment for a wrestling company?
I don't know if that can a fair subject can be made of that because of the pandemic just bringing a halt to any impeding progress. I mean, it, it's just one of the things you can't. I don't think a judgment can be made like that.
What about you, Mitch? Do you think you can make that judgment?
Repeat the thing. What judgment?
If there was another vice president that was smarter on the business side of professional wrestling in AEW, would AEW succeed more?
I think Tony Khan's actually good with the money part of it.
But on the wrestling side.
That's Cody, Young Bucks, and Kenny.
But if it wasn't, and it was just one or two people that have an approximate knowledge of how the business works instead of them.
Not with Tony. It would be with maybe another millionaire, maybe, I don't know. But like I said, Tony's just marked with a lot of money, in my opinion.
All right. Earlier this week, Raven and a lot of people were speculating that NWA wrestling was going to go out of business and was shutting their doors.
But then Billy Corgan came out and said that's not true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, maybe sure.
It kind of seems like NWA was kind of stop and start. They came out really heavy. The real winner of the Wednesday Night Wars were on Tuesdays. And
they, I was gonna say, besides Ricky Starks, they also lost Ziggy Dice, right?
Right. And it seems like they got hit the worst in this pandemic because they haven't had a live show since it started. When do you see NWA coming back, Scooter?
Honestly, probably not. I would not be. I wouldn't. At least not under. At least not under Billy Corgan's.
And yeah, Dave Lagana's gone now, so.
Right.
And he was the brains behind Power.
They took some big hits in this pandemic. Probably not ones that they wanted to take, right?
Obviously.
Yeah.
Billy Corgan, a smart mark with money or an actual promoter?
See, I think Corgan had some idea.
Yeah, it's funny enough. I was gonna say, he might have lost a lot of money, but I actually think he has more of an idea than Tony.
You want to continue that thought, Scooter?
Yeah, sorry.
No, it seemed like he had an idea. I mean, going back to his time at Impact, and it's odd when you see somebody like Billy Corgan who you don't expect to be that type of person, but I mean, with all that being me.
Do you think?
I mean, it's just.
Do you think Billy? Yeah.
Yeah. Continue.
Yeah, we can hear.
No. I'm trailing off at this point because.
Yeah. So do you think that maybe Billy Corgan is kind of snake bit at this point? he tried doing Impact Wrestling. We know that was, a dumpster fire. He tried his hand at another wrestling promotion, I'm pretty sure, and he's tried to make the rounds of making a good wrestling promotion, and it finally felt like he, hit it out of the park with NWA, and then, Cova happens.
Got to be able to make money. It don't matter if the product's good.
Well, it seemed like NWA was making money, and
how do you make enough money without a crowd? It's a live. It's a live act. They do live performances. That's what the business is.
Before COVID, I meant.
I'm just saying, while this keeps going on, I don't see how they're gonna survive.
Right. So should Billy Corgan just, wave the white flag and give up on his wrestling dreams, or would you like to see him take another stab at it?
Depends on how much money he wants to lose, man. It's up to him. But
you should pull a Dido.
Alright. Another thing I wanted to maybe just touch on was maybe the controversy surrounding Sonny Kiss this week.
I don't know what happened.
There was a lot of hate on Sonny because he was wrestling Cody this week. Some homophobic comments were made about him.
By who?
Twitter, assholes, trolls.
Oh.
And but the thing that, I really hate about, the wrestling companies, Twitter and wrestling fans in general, is that good points get lost in hate speeches. Because should Sonny have been wrestling Cody on AEW TV? Probably not.
I mean, but hold on. If you're gonna give Marco Stunt a spot in there, why the hell not?
I mean, I wouldn't give Marco Stunt a shot either.
I wouldn't either. I'm just saying.
But this is the point I'm making. Sonny Kiss has only had 3 matches on AEW TV. 2 of them were
They want to be
royals,
inclusive.
and one of them was a tag team match. He has yet to have a singles match on AEW TV. And
you just heard what I think it is. So.
What about you, Scooter? What are your thoughts?
I mean, like I said last week, quite frankly, I really think that it's there, and this is why AEW is it's failing.
I don't know if it's failing.
They're putting everything they're taking any and all talent and just put it this way. AEW is considered a wrestling simulator, and it seems like all of their talent is on the injured list apparently, and they can't use them. So they're filling their cards with the people that aren't used that often.
And they finally freaking used Brian Pillman Jr. after saying they were going to sign him in the very beginning of the promotion.
I mean, he was in the crowd.
So.
A weaker.
So.
I mean, that's like saying, oh, well, they use hand sanitizer too.
Exactly.
One thing,
they're still breathing, and around other people in public, which spreads it.
I just kind of see it as them feeding the machine. Cody being the machine. Not to say that he is, but more or less,
Cody, Young
Sonny
Bucks,
Kiss
and
is
Kenny.
enhancement talent.
It's those
So,
four.
so just feeding Cody another jobber to beat is kind of how I views it. Anything you wanna end this segment with? You're excused.
That was a mouth.
And we will end our new segment here.